6 exciting new whiskeys to try this fall. I'm Jeff, this is G Whiskey, stick around. Okay, we're talking about new whiskeys today. This is the semi-regular G Whiskey news segment where I talk about new releases or upcoming releases that I really want to try. Today we've got 6 new whiskeys we're going to talk about, and next week I'll be giving you my top 5 whiskeys that I'm excited about. So from today we're going to be doing 11 to 6, but don't be fooled, just because they're not in the top half of this list doesn't mean I don't really want to try them. They made the list, they're exciting, I want them all. Normally, I would just combine all of these into one video, but as many of you know, I'm opening a bar. Things are a bit hectic recently, and I just don't have time to edit, so we're separating them. I apologize for no video last week. Hopefully, as the dust settles, we'll get into our regularly scheduled programming. As usual, I do have a mystery pour in my glass here. This is a whiskey that in my last video, I did like this. I mentioned that I really wanted to try. And I actually shamelessly asked anyone out there to send me a bottle. It was kind of like half jokingly. I did not expect people to actually do it, but someone out there heard me, grabbed a bottle, and shipped it off to Taiwan for my enjoyment, because this community is amazing. I mean, I don't want to get too sappy here, but you meet so many people through whiskey, and 99% of them are wonderful people. And just because I have a shared interest in a drink, I've got strangers giving me gifts. I love having this channel. I love the whiskey community. That's it. Anyway, this is a teenage release. It's from Islay. If you saw the last video I did with the same theme, then you probably know what this is. Here's a blurry picture. Good luck guessing, and let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into our list. In the meantime, if you'll kindly leave a like down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. Okay, at the back of this list, at number 11, remember we're doing 11 to 6 today, I have Kilchoman 100% Islay. And this is one of those releases that I'm pretty much 100% sure I'm going to enjoy. I absolutely love the fully bourbon matured 2023 release. I think that was number 13. 2024 gave us mostly bourbon with a touch of sherry in there. I reviewed that recently, absolutely loved it. And for 2025, we're back to all bourbon, and it sounds fantastic. As the name implies, these are fully produced on Islay from farm to bottle. They're naturally fully crafted, so non-chill filtered, natural color. Yeah, these releases have yet to let me down. I mean, to be fair, I've not had that many batches, but I have had a few, and I've found them quite consistent and quite delicious from the ones I've tried. So I'm pretty confident I'm going to like this one. It's just at the back of this list because I've had a lot of these batches recently, so I've just had it recently, that's all. But in reality, I'm probably going to like this one more than a good chunk of other bottles you see on this list, just because I do think they're that reliable. It is slept on. It's one of Kilchoman's finest releases. 100% Islay 2025 at number 11. Coming in at number 10, we have a release from Glenallachie, and this is going to be the Meikle Tòr Turbo. This is a special release. This is the 2025 edition. They've had 2 previous editions before. This is the 3rd. I've never tried any of them. Now, I've never seen this release in Taiwan. I never saw release 1 or 2, so I don't know if I'll ever see the 3rd one. From what I've read in other markets, they do sell out pretty fast, so I'm not holding on to any hope, but it is one that I would like to try. This is peated stuff from Billy Walker. He and the new owners distilled this stuff, and this one is peated at 72 ppm, as opposed to the standard 30 that you get from other Meikle Tòrs. Am I saying that right?
Meikle Tòrs?
See you in the comments. This stuff is going to be at least 5 years old. It's going to be 50%. We have virgin oak casks with Oloroso sherry hogsheads for the maturation. Now, I don't know how much I'm going to like this one. I have tried a couple of the more standard Meikle Tòrs. They were fine, but they weren't amazing. So I am admittedly a bit skeptical. But enough people have recommended these releases to me to the point that I really feel like I should give them a go. So comes in at number 10, Meikle Tòr Turbo 2025. Coming in at number 9, we have Ardnahoe 5 Cask Strength. Now, Ardnahoe, Islay's newest distillery, they've been pretty busy this year. They've put out a couple of 6-year-olds even. One was for Feshil, one was in collaboration with Roy from the Aquavite channel. I would love to try both of those, but odds of me getting them, pretty slim. Meanwhile, this one is a core range release, so at some point I should be able to get my hands on it. I should be able to review it. Now, Ardnahoe releases are, of course, still young because it's such a young distillery, but they do have a unique profile. They do have an interesting character. They use worm tubs, which I love. This release is 60.9% ABV, so it's going to be punchy, matured in first fill bourbon casks. Now, you might be fooled because they've put out a bunch of different releases, but this is actually only the third member of their core range. The first one being the Infinite Lock, then we had the Bolsa, and now we have the 5-year-old Cask Strength. This is the first one that's actually age stated and cask strength, which does make it very interesting. So it comes in at number 9, Ardnahoe 5 cask strength. At number 8, we have Benromach 12-year-old Contrasts Unpeated. Now, this one is a Taiwan exclusive, so I'm not going to carry on about it. I do apologize, but it is one that I really want to try. It is 46%. It is, of course, fully craft. It is fully sherry cask matured. As the name suggests, it is completely unpeated. Sounds awesome. At number 7, we have Kingsbarns 10-year-old. This is their first 10-year-old release. It's from a pretty new lowland distillery. Kingsbarns got started, I think, back in 2014, and they are a brand that I would describe as up and coming. Their Dream to Dram release, which they put out a few years ago, was a beautiful bottling. It's what got me hooked on them, and this being their first 10-year-old release from a brand that I do have an affinity for, sounds good. This stuff is distilled from local barley. Our maturation, 90% matured in bourbon barrels, 10% STR red wine barriques, 46%. This is a limited release. Apparently it's a soft, gentle whiskey, which sounds like something that's going to be right up my alley. So comes in at number 7, Kingsbarns 10-year-old. All right, so number 6 is going to be our last for today's list, and this one is going to be Bunnahabhain 12-year-old cask strength. Now, we've had a few of these before. We had one release in 2021, one in 2022, and one in 2023. And it was nice having them as 12-year-old releases because I could afford them. Then in 2024, they switched over to a 21-year-old cask strength release, which sounds great. Sounds incredible, but it was too expensive, didn't try it. And oddly enough, this year, they're giving us both. So we have a 21-year-old cask strength, and we also have a 12-year-old cask strength. And our new 12 comes in at 56.4% ABV, and it's matured in first fill and second fill Oloroso sherry casks. Now, I never tried the 2021 release, which some people claim is the best. I did try the 22 and the 23 release. The 22 was exceptional. The 23 was nice, but I did enjoy both. So I am excited to see what they've done for the 2025. And really, I'm just glad that the 12-year-old cask strength is back because it was missed last year. So it comes in at number 6, Bunnahabhain 12 cask strength. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of today's part of the list. And make sure you stick around for next week's part where we do number 5 to number 1. So the big countdown, all of these still very exciting bottles. And this is where I put the question out to you guys. Which of the bottles from today's list are you most excited to try? Which ones are you most likely to buy? All right, finally, if you stuck around for the mystery pour here, again, this is something that I specifically asked someone to send me kind of shamelessly in the last video. I did it half jokingly. I didn't really expect someone to do it, but somebody did do it. And as it turns out, it's delicious. What I'm drinking is Bruichladdich 16-year-old organic barley. This one is a travel retail exclusive. It was initially released in Singapore, but now it's made its way to a few airports in Europe. I don't know where else, but certainly not here. Obviously from the name here, it's 16 years old, organic barley was used, and it's been matured in first fill American oak casks. And as it turns out, this is absolutely delicious whiskey. So big shout out to Alcohol Cartel in Singapore. They, it's not a sponsored post or anything. They just sent it here out of the kindness of their hearts, which is amazing. So if you're in Singapore, go check them out, support them. Nice people. And you know what? Since that worked so well last time, let's try it again. You know what, folks? I would just love to have all of the bottles on today's list, and a Rolex, and cash. And that brings us to the end of today's video. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And if you are any kind of channel member or patron or supporter, double thank you to you guys. You are amazing. If you want to become one, I will put Patreon and PayPal links down below. And make sure you come back next week where we're going to do the top 5 from this countdown, number 5 to number 1. It's going to be fun. And I'll see you there. Bye, guys.